wearing all black, being aggressive, hitting bombs. Got to hit bombs off the tee to be able to get to those small sections. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hit bombs and attack the pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Aloha Press Podcast. We are back sitting here on the porn couch in our home studio in Ione, California. I'm JC, joined today with my co-host Jeff. I don't think I need to ever introduce you. I think everyone just kind of knows who you are.
What podcast are we doing right now?
What do you mean? We're doing the Richter.
Oh, the intro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna intro the Richter podcast. We went down to Pacific Grove Golf Links. We were able to link up with someone who is a 20-plus year veteran in the golf industry, made his way down to Monterey Peninsula several years ago, and became a caddy in God's country, I think is what he said. And so we were able to sit down with him an evening and discuss kind of the events. And we were excited to record it. We were back in our satellite office.
I would call it that.
The lodge and cottage at the Pacific Grove.
The Lighthouse Lodge, I think, something like that.
Is it lodge or lighthouse?
It's the Lighthouse. I know that.
Okay.
It's a beautiful place. Beautiful piece of property.
If I was going to give anyone a free ad, that might be the place. They don't give a shit what we do.
No. We're coming, going. Podcasts, guys screaming and yelling out of our room.
The only weird part is the graveyard.
Yeah.
Sleeping next to the graveyard
it's different.
It's kind of restless.
But you know what? I mean, you think about it. We're two grown-ass men, right? That night with Richter, that was different for me. It's not every day that you just, essentially a stranger knocks on your hotel room door, picks you up, takes you to a nice Irish pub for dinner.
Yeah.
You start getting liquored up. Then he takes you back to the hotel, and the three grown men now are sitting around a little table in the dark, essentially, with copious amounts of alcohol, and then just start talking about random shit. It's different, but it was fun. It worked out really well.
It was really different. It was one of our... It wasn't the Edgewood podcast, I'll say that.
No. I know he couldn't be on video, and we had to, give him a special name, but had we been able to film that one, I think it would have been gold.
Oh, it would have been pure comedy. I can't imagine the places that he works at would be too excited about it, but our listeners and our viewers would be rather pleased. But
if we ever had the ability to do Dateline 2020 and blur his face and change his voice and film that, I think that'd be pretty cool. Or he just retires and then he can tell us all his stories.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It was a cool podcast. So you guys stick around, listen to it. It's very interesting. It's entertaining. It gives some outlook on the other side of golf, not your typical round of golf. It's more vacation style.
Yeah,
golf.
We're golfers. We never had caddies, but it gives you a look into what the caddy's thinking. And now, if I ever do have a caddy, I know what not to do. Right, how not to piss them off, how not to be a douchebag. It's now I know.
Absolutely.
So it's worth a listen for everybody out there that thinks they're a good golfer, wants to have a caddy. Because this guy will rip you apart.
He will absolutely rip you apart.
If you bring the wrong shit.
Exactly. And he'll jump on our podcast and rip you a new one, which is awesome. So, guys, thank you for the download. Thank you for the listen. Tell your friends about it. Subscribe. And, it's all up to you guys. We really appreciate you guys promoting, talking about our podcast, and getting the word out there. So, hopefully you guys enjoy, and we will catch you guys later. This is the Richter Aloha podcast.
Richter.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Aloha Press Podcast. We are with the Undercover Caddy, a.k.a. Richter. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Richter.
It really happened to make the trip down to Northern California and spend some time with you. We just had some dinner, which was an awesome place. Had some good burgers.
Yeah, the Monarchs.
It was delicious, man.
Yeah.
And so let's just jump into it. What is your reaction to Bryson DeChambeau blaming caddies for slow fucking play? Is that bullshit or what?
Usually it comes down to the player, if you ask me. I mean, he's the one and has all the power in the situation. So, but, it is what it is. I mean, you just got to figure it out between the caddy and the player. But I mean, in all aspects, it always comes down to the player.
Okay. What? So in your world, tell us what you actually do, because in my experience, I'm the guy who's carrying my own bag. I'm either pushing with some stupid cart. What I mean, what do you actually do? Because I mean, out here at Castle Oaks Golf Course, they don't really offer that type of service. So what? Kind of go into depth what you actually do.
Well, you're kind of the man's best friend. You know, you're kind of the psychologist. You're the curator of showing a man around a beautiful piece of earth that we all love to be a part of, especially down here at the Monterey Peninsula. I mean, it's God's country, no doubt. I mean, every day coming down to the barn and seeing the boys and shooting the shit about past jobs and future jobs and just living the dream and being a part of it. But in all details, you're just there to support him throughout the round and just make sure that he is focusing on not just the golf, that the surroundings he's in, you know, because you're here on vacation. And like I said, God's country, the most beautiful piece of earth, in my opinion, of all the golf courses I've ever played. It's right here in the Monterey Peninsula.
So I've never had a caddy. I mean, we just got offered one up at Edgewood the other day, and we said no. For a guy like us, you know, if we come out and play, how much are you actually helping us with our game, or reading the putts, telling us what club to hit, or are you just, like you said, kind of just, hey, here's your clubs, I'll wash your clubs for you, I'll carry your bag. Like, are you putting in the work, like all the yardages, the putts, what you think he should do?
Absolutely. I mean, you're judging his distances immediately on 1 and 2. I mean, you're getting to know the guy, how far he hits it, even though he thinks he hits it 160 when in reality he hits it 145. And sometimes you have to lie to the guy. Be like, it's 160. It's just so he grabs that other club so he hits it that far so I don't have to rake the bunker. Or you just tell him to rake the bunker because he didn't hit the right club.
So pre-round, how does a caddy even get selected with the group? Is it like...
It's just by seniority.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
it's not like the Bunny Ranch. They don't like walk you guys out, and then they get to pick which one they like the best.
No, if that was the case, then there would be a lot of caddies without work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So seniority based, I'm assuming you get to see the player's bag before you do the player.
Sometimes, not always.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're looking at someone's bag, what are some things that you instantly take away? Is it either going to be like a good thing or like a bad thing? Or like,
well, you know, that's.
Are you like scaling them up? Or are you like
yes,
sizing them up?
A lot of us do. We look at the bag, like how it represents, because the bag in clubs kind of sometimes represents the player. But I've been in situations where I've looked at a set of clubs and you're like, oh God, this guy's got to be a stick. I mean, he's got all the top-notch clubs, all the right shafts. The bag looks great. The head covers are sweet. He's got the gear. He even looks the part. And then it's the complete opposite.
He's like, if he's carrying it,
it's the guy who shoots 20 over his handicap, and he tells you he's a 10. Sure. And in all reality, he's not a 10. And they think they're a 10. But most of them are at their home club. But when they come out here, you're playing a championship golf course, or you know, it's the complete opposite. It's a false.
Well, yeah, that's like us playing Castle Oaks. We get a really good handicap playing Castle Oaks every day, and then we come play here, and you're like, fuck.
And you're hitting freaking 2-iron wedge, right? Yeah. So let me ask you, because I carry a 2-iron like an idiot. What if you saw a 2-iron in someone's bag? Are you like stick or schmuck?
You know, I don't really judge people what they have in their bag until I see their swing. Once I see their swing, I'm like, this club does not belong in the bag. And I'm like, in the beginning, too, I'll always say, hey, you know, is there any clubs in here you don't use? Because I don't need to be carrying extra weight if I don't need to.
Sure.
Because a lot of these players, you know, they either have a push cart or they ride in their own car. And so they got stuff in here that's been in there for months on end. Like literally one time I caddied for a guy and he had $25 in change. I was like, why is this bag so heavy? And I'm like, are you serious? So I went through it. I'm like, dude. So I went and got all the change out, and I gave it to the cart girl and exchanged it for bills. And then I was like, dude, here. He's like, what's that? I was like, you had $25 in change in your bag. I just got rid of 4 pounds. And most people don't think that's a lot, but when you're going up and down hills on a golf course, it's a lot.
Oh, I bet.
And I'm saving my back.
What's one of the strangest things you've seen? Because how does that work? I'm assuming like dude shows up with a tour staff bag. You're not hucking that thing around.
No, we all exchange bags out here in the Monterey
Okay.
Peninsula. Yeah, and a lot of times these days too, they just if the player doesn't want the bag exchanged, then they'll throw them on a buggy, and then they can walk the course, and then you just hustle the clubs back and forth.
So what I was getting at? What is the strangest thing you've ever seen inside a bag? Because occasionally I've had a Cliff Bar sitting in one of those bags for a while, and you look at that thing, it's like some science project.
Extra shoes, clothes, paraphernalia. I mean, it's unassuming but if you're who I am, I don't really go through people's bags.
Sure.
That's what the guy that's running the tee does. He goes through and deals with that. Sometimes we will, but as long as the player's right there in front of you, just the abundance of sunscreen is just ridiculous.
Well, you would not find that in his bag because he doesn't fucking wear sunscreen.
No, I like.
But he does have a lot of shit in his bag.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just tell him to take that shit back to the car.
No, they just put it in a little baggie, and then you get it at the end of the round and put it back in there. It's like I always tell them, like, dude, is this your ex-wife in your bag? I mean, come on.
So, I mean, if they're playing these courses around here in the Monterey Peninsula that are obviously much more high class than what we play, they're not sneaking in flasks and bottles of booze, I would imagine, like we would.
Sometimes they do, but I don't really notice those type of things. If they are, they're not.
Are you allowed to drink when you're caddying?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, that's not a good
frowned
thing.
upon.
Frowned upon big time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, afterwards, party's on.
Yeah.
But
not during the round.
During the round, it's business, straight business.
When you were playing golf, did you drink?
During the round?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Well, look, after the bad first nine, yes.
Okay.
So you get the double cocktail at the turn and shoot 400 on the back nine. Those were the great
You wonder
days.
why you didn't do that in the beginning?
That's probably 90% of the golfers out there. You would see them play like crap on the front, and then on the back, they would just like, you know what, screw it. I wasn't going to drink, but I am. And then they just relax. So, like, that's the one thing I wish these golfers would do is just relax before they go out. It's like, it's almost like they should have a tall can before they tee off. Don't hit the range balls. Have 12 ounces. Not 12 golf balls, 12 ounces.
I agree.
That's some great advice.
I agree, especially if there's mats. Because don't
Mats
put,
is a joke.
I hate
Bayonet
You
had
can
mats
chunk it
today.
and hit it good and think you're hitting it pure.
Right? If they made a course that was just turf, I'd shoot 18 under.
Plus, like, more so than not, these golfers are not traveling golfers, and they're so wrapped up in where they are that they forget about how to play golf. It's like, forget the range, go to the bar.
Right? Yeah. Go get lubed up a little bit.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, but they should.
Well, yeah. I mean, some of
It's
the
the
people we
purest
talk to,
antidote for golfers
yeah,
that come out.
they don't want to touch it. They don't want to be around it, but we're the opposite. So
Absolutely. So, Richter, how did you get into the game of golf? Because I'm assuming there was a path that led you to caddying. What was that path?
Well, I started off playing baseball my whole life, and then I switched over to golf because of Greg Norman. He was one of the best golfers of all time for me growing up, and the shark, the hat, the guy who hit it tight, spun the ball like crazy. And then I just had some, women's golf clubs, and we used to go hit balls at the park. And after that, my babysitter took me out to play 9 holes of golf, and I just kind of got hooked. And the golf team started for the first time at my hometown in like quite some time. I think it was 10 or 12 years since the last time they had a golf team at my high school. And they started it up, and I was like, I wanted to try it. And so the baseball coach at that time didn't want people playing 2 sports. There was people that have done it in the past, but it didn't work out. So I chose golf, and I ran with it, and then became a great player and loved the game of golf and played tournaments after that and kept traveling for tournaments as an amateur, and then shot a few course records along the way and had a few hole-in-ones along the way. And then I moved to Tahoe and shot a course record unofficially.
Okay.
Officially means in a tournament. Unofficially is a practice round. And I was like, wait a minute, I got to get back in this game again. So I met a friend of mine, because we were working the grounds crew at Tahoe Donner Golf Course at the time. And he's like, hey, man, if you ever want to move to Monterey, give me a call. So I gave it some thought, and then I just ended up moving down there after the first winter. And I started working for a golf course down here at the Monterey Peninsula, and switched over to caddying 9 months later and never looked back. And caddying's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, just to be out on God's creation, this earth, we call it, and the beautiful place that we are in the Monterey Peninsula along all these magnificent top 50 golf courses in the world. It's just, it's a present.
Well, and we were lucky enough to walk around at Pebble Beach and walk around the U.S. Open, and I looked at Jeff and I'm like, who the hell decided to build a golf course here? Because they would have made a lot more money selling houses and mansions on this beautiful land. And they just were like, let's build a golf course. Yeah. And let's build like 8 of them, like all right here. Yeah. And it's just incredible. I mean, it's just unreal.
Yeah. So. I'm blessed. There's no doubt about it.
So this has always intrigued me because, as we're kind of venturing off and we're going to do some more traveling, we might be using some caddies. What's the difference between a tour caddy, which seems like, who are great players at times, or like these players' buddies, to like a resort caddy? Like, what are the main differences?
I think they're more efficient. It's, you have to really be on your numbers. You have to do a lot more homework, and you're playing for a lot of money versus, you're playing for your gratuity, or you're caddying for your gratuity, excuse me. And at the same time, I think it's definitely much more relaxed in our job versus being a tour caddy, because it's just the pressure of it, what they're doing out there. And what we're doing out here is just trying to get a guy through the day without, going crazy or throwing clubs.
So how much of your day when you're out there is kissing their ass and, like you said, going for the gratuity and trying to make them feel really, really good about themselves, lying to them about distances, whatever it may be, compared to when you just, you know what? Fucking, I'm going to be honest with this guy.
I'm one of those blatant out in the open guys. Like, dude, you do not hit that. And
right?
Like, dude, let's go over here. This is where your ball's at. Mr. Haverkamp, it's over here.
Okay.
But it's because they run big companies, these people, or smaller big companies. And they are telling everybody else what to do. And this is my home track. This is my business. This is my office. I'm here every day. And I'm also a great golfer. And I've hit millions of great shots. So it's like, give me the club. Do you want to see a good shot? I'll show it to you. I've done that once.
Will you grab it from him?
Oh, one time this guy had a shot on a hole. It was par 5, and he was in the right rough. And I go, he's a pretty good player. And I was like, why don't you just hit a little punch cut driver right here? And he's like, what? Out of the rough? You're out of your mind. And so the other caddy's like, do it, Rick. Do it, Richter. And so I just grabbed that club and I knocked it 3 feet. He's just like, oh my Lord.
It's like, I'll listen to you the rest of the day.
Yeah. So sometimes you kind of have to show them to put them in their place.
Anybody ever get mad at you? Like, you see that, like Spieth and those guys that cry and whine to their caddies. Like, if you tell them something and it doesn't work, do they get mad?
Oh yeah, I have the sign on the back: blame me, but pay me.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? Really?
Well, so what's it cost out here for a caddy?
There's the base fee plus gratuity.
What is the base fee on top of your green fee?
So they pay, I think it's $95 now per bag, and then plus whatever. But it's different at every golf course, I mean, country clubs around here do it differently. The resort does it differently. Sometimes they're all cash, it just depends on where you're working. I tell you what, the people you meet in this job, from all places on earth, and you can just be blessed to interact with people from those areas, because you just start to learn how people are from that area. They're just laid back, chill, respectful for the game, pure players. Like, you don't get that a lot. These days you get drinkers, ragers, and basically hungover on the first tee. I've even had a guy puke in the bushes on one and then actually shot like 7 under, which was unbelievable.
Oh crap!
That's playing some golf.
That's
usually we show up and you got the shakes going, and
you got to take a knee to tee up the ball.
You got to get right there in the first couple holes, couple stiff doubles. But
yeah, let's get into something like, what's the craziest shit you've seen on the golf course?
I've seen a brawl.
caddy.
I've seen a brawl. I've seen a brawl. Yeah, I saw two brothers get after it, like over a stupid, like meaningless bet, like over a putt. Like first it was like, no, that wasn't good. Yes, it was good. No, it wasn't good. What do you mean it was 4 feet? I mean, come on. No, it was 3 feet. And all of a sudden they're fisting it out on the green. I'm like, is this really happening right now? Over a 4-foot putt, and I think the bet was like $25. It's like, dude,
you watch
and
it?
And your brothers. Yeah, I watched it. I got in there. I'm like, dude, guys, chill. We're at a top 50 golf course in the United States, and you guys are throwing down. Like, this is the most immature thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did they finish the round?
Oh, yeah, they calmed down after that, but it was just weird. I think it was like only 3 or 4 punches, but it was enough. It was too many. It was 4 too many.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's like something for a Stockton golf course. Right? That's kind of.
I think it's for any golf course, just depending on who
that's true.
who's on the golf course.
Yeah.
I got a great story. I'm on a par 3 one time, and this guy, he's like, give me the wedge. I'm like, I don't think it's a 9-iron. And there's a pond short right, and he hits the wedge, goes in the water. He goes, give me another one. I go, all right. So I give him another one. He hits it in the water. I'm like, dude, it's a 9. He goes, no, I got it. And he tees it up, and he hits it in the water again. I go, let's just hit the 9. He goes, I can do it. Give me another ball. And I went over, I teed it up for him. I said, hold your breath.
Where'd you put that one?
In the water. 4 in a row. Thanks for listening to your caddy.
Oh,
Whack.
shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No, that's great.
Oh, I have another great story, too. Same hole, actually. I don't know the time frame on this, but it was early in my career, and we were working for a couple of models, me and this guy. And it was the greatest round ever. It didn't even matter about gratuity at that time.
Sure, yeah. You're getting paid with your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, every time they bend over, it was like, you were getting paid right there. It
Yeah.
was models. I mean, it was beautiful. Anyway, so we're on this hole, and the lady gets up there, and she tees it up, and she looks at the hole, and the ball falls off the tee, and she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And then the other caddy goes, no, honey, that's okay, because that's the best pre-shot routine I've ever seen.
Where were they from?
I can't recall. Yeah, it was an epic moment for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that annoys you the most that a player can do on the golf course that you've seen?
Play past double bogey. Hands down.
Like just pick up.
Just, dude, it's over. I mean, if it's a tournament, I get it. I totally get it. Or even let's max it out to triple because we got some really high handicappers out here. But yeah, bro. I mean, when a guy asked me for a read from 2 feet for a 9 on a par 4, it's like I dropped the flag and went to the next hole. All of his playing companions were like, they were dying laughing. I'm like, dude, it's over, bro. You wanted a read for a 9 from 2 feet? Like, it's over. I mean,
Yeah.
You have to hit a certain point in your game. For me, although I'm kind of biased because I'm the bystander, like watching it. But, dude, enough's enough. You got to say when. Like this one guy is in the bunker. He's hit his 7th shot in the bunker. I'm like, and I understand the determination of trying to get out, but why don't you practice that before you do it live?
Right. Well, that's kind of like what were we talking about? Who's the fuck that shot in the 80s or something at the U.S. Open last round, and he's out there plumb bobbing and doing this.
Oh,
who was that?
No, it was Justin Rose on the final hole. Gary Woodland sinks the freaking birdie putt on 18 to win the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And Justin Rose is over there freaking.
Oh, that's what it was. After it was over.
It was over.
Like,
and it was
dude,
like,
just freaking.
just tap that shit in. It don't matter. Like, you lost.
But in defense of Justin Rose,
Sure.
it is worth a lot of money if you missed it versus make it. But I get what you're saying.
You've
I
met
totally
his
get it.
caddy, right?
No.
You've never met Justin Rose.
I thought he was a long-haired guy down at the bar.
No, yeah, that was an incident after the Open this year. I thought it was his caddy. It was Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And they actually had me convinced that he was his caddy there for a minute, but then I had to take a second look, and my buddy's like, "That's Fleetwood, bro. That's not Justin Rose's caddy."
Yeah, because
It was pretty interesting, to
So
say
what-
the least.
slow play. Like, I know we addressed it earlier, but
The tour does that for us. What these people watch on TV is what they emulate in reality.
and I can only imagine at some of these more expensive golf courses, people that have the money, the time.
It's the pre-shot routine, man.
Oh my God. Like,
Dude, narrow it down. And the best thing about golf, I mean, sorry, not the best thing. The thing about golf is that you need to simplify, don't multiply.
Right? The less
Right?
things you're thinking
Yeah,
about.
it's like people with their 5 practice strokes in the putting green. I get trying to feel it, but I think people need to narrow down what they're thinking about. Just like go on reaction. And I've seen it. They play so much better. It's like when they start drinking, they stop thinking. You know, they stop. They actually don't even. This one guy was taking 6 practice strokes on his putting stroke, and then the back 9 after he had 3 beers, he was just hit putting the first one. He wasn't even picking a practice stroke. I was like, holy shit, really?
We figured it out.
Like, oh my Lord. And then like there's some of us that just get extra beers when they order 1 beer. We're like, nah, grab 3 or 4 more, put it on ice, we'll just keep it in the cart. And then you just kind of slowly shove them towards their way.
Right? You need another one right now. Here you go.
Yeah.
it's like, you know that like a golfer has a handicap, you know, for their game, right? I almost need like a drinking handicap. Like if you're going to skip all that bullshit, like you need to start out like your handicap's 4 beers.
Right?
Yeah.
So on the first tee, start fucking chugging.
That's great. I think.
Yeah.
I think somebody should come up with a solution for that.
Cart girl at the starting, okay? What's your handicap, sir? 5 shots of Jameson? Let's roll. Okay?
Literally
Line
tell
them
the
up.
guy, hey, here, give me some cash. We're gonna have this girl stop here every 5th hole
Yep.
or 4th hole and load you up.
And take care of you.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think it speeds up the game. More fun.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more fights.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that was a one-time deal. I've actually never heard of that, other than a guy pushing another guy in a pond one time.
Yeah, what's
Yeah, he was like he was just like their best friends, and he just wanted to do something stupid and silly, and he literally just pushed the guy in the pond. And actually, no, I'm in the pro shop after the round because we were ahead of them and they were behind us, and I was like, dude, you're soaking wet. He's like, yeah, my punk ass buddy pushed me in the pond. I'm like, are you serious? I've never even heard of that.
And was that at one of these courses out here?
Yeah, oh yeah, on the Monterey
I'd
Peninsula.
be fucking raging mad if that happened to me
Yeah.
at one of these courses, especially if I saved like all my money up to come play.
Totally. He didn't
And-
even finish the last 3 holes.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I'd be
you fucking, you're taking me back for my next round here.
Oh my Lord. Really?
Fuck that. Was he wearing white
It
pants?
was, you know what we call bad golfers? Ducks. We always go wah, 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 like when we're on the course, or we'll put the noose around our neck and hang it up like, oh my God, this guy's killing me. Yeah, ducks on the pond.
I learned that ducks thing from a guy back home,
Yeah.
bald-headed Hawaiian guy.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I'm probably sure I'm the one who told him.
You probably, because that's what he
Yeah.
always says. He looks out at the range. He's working the pro shop.
Look at those ducks.
And he looks out there and he goes, "Fucking duck."
duck.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I've
Oh,
never
wait,
heard that.
Goose.
yeah, you motherfucker. And he hits the best fucking right to left fade I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that guy.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. If he's going to listen to this at some point,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
he
Well,
hits,
we
he hits
know
the best.
who you are.
He hits the best cutter I've ever seen. It goes about 5 to 10 yards right to left. You know,
power
right,
cut.
right? And he goes, "Look at that baby fade." He hits
Yeah,
it
I
up
think
there.
he was the best man at my cousin's wedding, which didn't work out.
Probably. That's probably the same guy, I
Yeah.
would imagine.
What? Have you ever been fired from?
I've been let go after the round, but
Okay.
not during the round. And only because I was a little bit too forward with the guest.
How do you get let go
no,
after the round? The round's
because
over.
I'll tell you why. I was just like, dude, this is the right club, and he did not want to hear what I had to say as far as being right. He did not want to be wrong. So everything was going great. His partner wanted me to work the next day, but he did not want me to go because he did not like being wrong and me being right.
Okay.
And he was like, no, this is, I go, well, you pulled it. I did pull it. I'm like, I told you a cup to the right, you hit it left edge, and it broke a cup to the left. It's like, and then so this went on and on during the round. And then finally, like the next day, the guy's like, yeah, come tomorrow. And I showed up, and the guy's like, well, my buddy doesn't want you, so we're going to have to let you go. I go, oh, that's fine. I'll just go back to the other course and work there. You know, no big deal. No hard feelings. It doesn't bother me. Not everyone's going to like everyone.
Sure.
I mean, that's just the way it is in life. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with, how you caddy. I think it's just personalities sometimes clash.
Do the guys that you're out there caddying for, when they're playing their games, their small games within the game or whatever they're doing and playing for money, do they ever include you guys in that?
Oh no, we bet on the side. Caddies versus caddies.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah. We definitely bet on the side. What are we playing for? Entree and a couple beers after the round. Yeah, and sometimes we lie to them just about that, just so we can get them to play better.
Okay, so they think they're helping you out if they do something good or something like that.
Not always we lie to them about that, but sometimes we make that bet announced in front of them, and then they're like,
Sure.
"Well, man, my guy's gonna lose some money," and then he starts narrowing his vision.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
It
So it's just you're a psychologist, man.
it seems like you're the bartender for the golfer
Yeah, in a sense.
without the bar.
Yes, I agree. You're also, what is it my buddy called? You're a field technician.
Like, how many lessons have you given? On
Well,
golf?
no, I tell them lessons are extra, bro.
Right? You open up.
I mean, you're paying
open up the checkbook.
You're paying the base fee and the gratuities for that job. Lessons are extra. Or go consult your LPGA or PGA pro to help them out as well.
What does it take to become a caddy? Is there a school?
Mm-hmm.
Is there training?
No, you have to go through.
How do you get
you
recognized?
have to go through a process of online filling out like a questionnaire. Then you have to have an oral. What is what I'm trying to say? An oral
Like an interview?
Oral interview. Thank
Okay.
you. Maybe one less cocktail. An oral interview.
we're pretty
and
good at
then
these
they,
oral
they
interviews.
do a background check, and then they do, I think, a second interview. Then you have to go through a physical process of like showing you how you caddy, like during a round, like where to put the bag, where the flag should be in the hand, where the club should be, how to rake bunkers, where your positioning should be when the player's hitting a shot, where you should be ahead of the player during another shot, like just jockeying for position, just pace of play. All it basically comes down to not injuring yourself on the golf course and exceeding the pace of play, always moving forward.
So, but when it comes to reading greens,
Of course, that's the basics.
But is that just if you're a good golfer
That's
or not?
basic knowledge. I mean, well, maybe I should retract that. To become a caddy, yes, you need to know how to read greens. You need to know how to, establish yardage, up or downhill, wind, maybe even how the guy hits the ball flight. But that, now I'm getting into a higher level caddy.
So if I go out to Edgewood tomorrow and they say, "Hey, you want a caddy?" and I say yes, and I buy this caddy, I'm not going to get a guy that shoots 100 when he plays by himself.
Oh, no, yes, you should. You could. Wait,
yeah,
yeah.
but he can read greens and tell me the right distances.
Oh, you're talking about the caddy.
Yeah, I'm talking about the caddy. Like, so because that's the thing. You said you can get a bad one.
No,
right?
the caddy himself.
Yeah.
What is his ability?
So you told me about all the
Right.
stuff that to
Oh.
become one, but being a
no,
good golfer,
yeah.
is that just another
No,
plus?
that's a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as far as a caddy, there's a lot of caddies that don't even play golf. They caddy at all, and which is it's fine. You can still do that, but I don't know if every caddy is going to be the same as somebody who's played the game or knows the game well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that only appreciates the value of the caddy when it comes to the player that's using him to work for him.
Does that kind of like make you stand out against the other guys? When
I think it makes a lot of the good players that are caddies stand out. But personality is first and foremost. If you don't have a personality, you're not going to make it. And if you are, you're just going to be a bag toter. You need to excel your personality out there. You need to make them have fun. Remind them where they are. When they're playing bad, to take a look to the right where you're at. There's the Pacific Ocean, or there's a bird on a tree that you don't ever see, a unique situation. You got to take them away from their being wrapped up in the game of golf and make them realize that, hey, you're not working. You're not where you are from. You're here on vacation, and you're here for a reason. So, and I think that is the biggest element to give to someone who's playing the game of golf during a round when they're trying to play their best and they're not.
it's kind of hard to play vacation golf. It really is. I guess for me, I don't know.
I can't even imagine playing a particular course that, like, you're walking in the same footsteps as some of your heroes, or maybe some of the people that you follow on social media or whatever, and then going up and hitting that same tee shot, I mean, I have some anxiety. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I think it gets back to the drinking handicap, pre-round. That's so. Jeff and I were traveling down to Monterey Peninsula to play some golf today, and I was showing him some of this guy on YouTube, the Club Pro guy. Have you ever heard of this guy?
No.
He's on YouTube, crazy, like Mexican, Latino America. Anyways, he's sponsored by Ram, okay, the square face wedge, okay. He's sponsored by Strata Golf Balls.
Good for him.
But it's all over his shirt.
But good for him.
Sandal FootJoys. So, why aren't caddies sponsored?
You mean resort or otherwise anywhere in the country caddies?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh no, caddies on the PGA Tour do wear gear and they do get paid. I think. Well, from my knowledge, which I'm sure I'm not completely correct here, they used to get airtime money. I don't know how it is anymore. I haven't talked to tour caddies in a long time. But so whatever hat they were wearing or whatever shirt they were wearing, and their player was on time on the air, and then that hat or shirt got on the air, you would get paid per second. That's what I was told.
So that's
years ago. I don't know how it is now, but I'm sure that they probably get sponsorship money. Maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know.
it seems like a lot of them wear the same gear that their player wears.
Well, of course.
it
goes without saying.
But it would
Yeah.
make sense if you got, obviously, if your player's good, you're going to get a lot more airtime.
Right.
And then if you're like Kevin Nas caddy and you get in these, fights or these
But
arguments.
why not pay caddies at courses across the the world or
Well, you
the
get to
United
preach
States?
to people every day.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
you could sell gear every day out there.
We could. I'm
Well, you're going
surprised
to,
we're
the
not,
Aloha
I'm
Press.
surprised we're
Exactly.
not. I'm surprised we're not used more often.
Right.
I mean, you're a walking billboard
Totally.
to four people who have.
I
some money.
tell these guys where to go to eat, where to go to drink.
You're-
this and
you're
that.
an
I'm with them more than anybody else.
You're an
is.
untapped resource.
That's
I'm
it.
saying we monetize you,
Well, bring it as
All
long
right,
as
so
I'm getting paid for it.
Richter.
So the wharf.
Richter advertising.
Where are you going
Full
to eat?
Richter.
Where are you going to eat?
What?
At the wharf. If you had to tell me where to eat.
At the wharf?
Yeah.
There's a couple spots. Actually, I don't eat at the wharf much.
No. I like
the wharf is-
Domenico's.
Domenico's is good, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's the restaurant right across the way? You just put me on the spot right now. I can't think.
The candy shop.
No, the
I like that one too.
candy shop.
Saltwater candy. Oh, I love that place.
Right, that's
That place
usually where we
kills
end
it.
up.
Yeah,
A couple of
Isn't that
vodkas.
called
and
the
some-
Wonka Factory? No.
some
right.
gummies.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Oh boy,
Ah.
Jeez. California gummies. Those are another thing. They're like flying high around here.
Well, it's about the CBD.
Yeah, are you rubbing
Did any of
CBD
the guys?
Oh,
Chew the
I
gum,
promote the
put-
CBD oil.
put the
for
lotion,
your,
the oil?
like arthritis and stuff. Totally, I'm all for it. It's amazing stuff.
Jeff's gonna be taking a bath in it like tomorrow.
I'm going to
for
need
sure.
it to be able to get up tomorrow morning and go play at 7 a.m. Yeah, I'm going to be hurting.
Dude, you
I swung
should.
way too hard today.
Yeah, just put a big squirt in the bathtub, soak in that thing.
Right? I might
Why
not get.
not?
I might not get out. That's the problem.
You
Jeez.
might sleep
Jeez.
for 24 hours.
If I could, I would. But we got to be up at 6.
6 in the morning, huh? What
Yeah,
time's your tea
8.
time?
7.
7.
I mean, it's right here.
yeah. Poor man's Pebble Beach.
Right across the graveyard.
So can we get into Poor Man's Pebble Beach?
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Pacific
PG's
Grove,
amazing.
I mean-
PG Muni's amazing.
Because you're from Northern California. I mean, let's talk real quick about. I mean, the back nine is what everyone
it's
goes
epic.
to, right?
Yeah. Allison McKenzie Gym.
I love the front nine.
I love the front nine too. I make
It's
more birdies
party
on the front.
shit.
Well, I make more birdies on the front. I mean, I'll just say that, I remember one time I went hole in one, par, birdie, 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 birdie. Yeah.
For 9 holes.
Yeah, for the front nine. And then I went par,
So you shot 9 under on the front.
I think it was 9 under. What is that?
Yeah, that's not
can't
well.
even
What
add-
you,
I
what,
can't
you
even
just,
add.
what you described
2
was 9
under,
under.
3 under, 4 under, 5 under, 6 under, 7 under. No, 7 under after 9.
7 under after 9.
Yeah.
What'd
And
you
then-
end up shooting?
I think it was like 6 under. I think I shot 1 over on the back.
Because
Usually when you have one good side, you have a really bad second side. Or I don't really normally, I'm not a starter. I'm not one who gets off and goes on fire. I'm usually the back nine burner.
So when you played, were you aggressive all the time?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
I was stupid, young, and immature. I didn't have anybody to take me under their wing to teach me really what I should have been doing, like playing for the safe side of the pin, not short-siding yourself.
Not trying to hit flop shots all day.
Yeah, punch, cut, lob, wedge.
Right?
I used to be my claim of fame. I'd be like, hey, watch this punch, cut, lob, wedge. It's a punch, cut, lob, wedge.
I love it.
Seriously, I loved it too. I did. I pulled it off a couple times, but in reality, how many times are you really going to pull it off? And why would you hit that shot anyways?
So what's your go-to shot when you're playing?
When I was playing, fire at the stick. There was no draw.
But just straight ball?
Actually, knockdown shot, punch shot.
Knockdown?
Yeah. Hit it low. Take a 7-iron, choke it down 2 inches, play it back in the stance, hold that finish, and just hit it low under the wind. Make a 7-iron go as far as a 5-iron and wind. It was sick. I learned it from a buddy of mine, Graham. He's now back in Europe, but he took me under his wing at one of my career highlights, which is 2006, and we went deep. That was the best I ever played. It was great. But
So
that's
what does that mean? The best that you ever played? What does that mean?
I was
Explain
averaging
that.
3 under par per round. I was winning tournaments.
Was it like mini tours or was it
Oh, it was amateur golf.
amateur golf?
Yeah.
Okay, so like
I played the mini tours for about almost a year down in Arizona, and I didn't fare well on that type of golf. Arizona ate my lunch. Plus, it was basically like locals only.
sure.
Those guys were the ones who were winning.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with Bubba Watson one time, and I remember on the first hole, I hit driver 3 with lob wedge. He hit driver 7-iron. I was like, wow, who's this guy? And then he hit 2. That was the only driver he hit. And then he hit 2-iron the rest of the tournament.
Did he win?
I can't remember.
Oh shit!
I know I didn't make the cut.
Crazy.
So, but yeah, I think
was he-
Paul
he's-
Casey might have been playing at that time too. Maybe I can't remember. There was a bunch of big time names that are on tour now, but that was 19 years. Oh no, 18 years ago. It was the first year of the Gateway Tour.
Okay.
Paul Casey's one of our biggest supporters.
He is. So
Paul Casey's awesome. By
Yeah.
the way.
he came up to us at the US Open and he's trying to sign autographs. And first of all, I'm a 31-year-old man. I'm not trying to ask for autographs. My kid was there, sure. Like, go ahead. That's cool. Like, that's whoever you want to emulate. That's really awesome. I'm more of taking it from a business standpoint. Like, if you want to sign an autograph, let's sign some checks, okay? So we gave him a sticker, and I think he was appreciative of it. I think
Nice.
he might follow us. Probably not.
I don't know.
What you should do is you should send him a link to his Instagram or something, and start promoting it that way.
Well, I've messaged him several times.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, like, hey, do you need more stickers? Or do you want a free
Well, he
hat?
told him straight to his face, like, "Hey, dude, everybody wants shit from you. How about I
Yeah.
give you something?" And he gave him
Right,
the sticker.
right.
But that was
Wow.
also
People these days, who knows, like with this whole media thing, like Instagram, tweeting, Facebook, like who knows when people were really thinking that, like, is this guy for real or is he just like what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like
a stalker.
trying to go-
stalker.
Yeah,
I,
I
can't
mean,
believe I can't think of stalker.
Right. I mean, we're
The guy that he looked at you and
Yeah.
followed you around the corner for weeks. Yeah,
that was him.
Stalker.
yeah.
so how do we get more people to play golf?
Make it 12 holes. Make it 12 holes. Make it 12 holes and give gimmies inside of a flag stick. Anything inside a flag stick is good. No, that's my golden rule. Like I
Yeah?
tell them, like, guys, these are my rules. We play lift, clean, place everywhere. Basically, what I call we go up to, like, you got to identify it.
Sure.
So every time I go up to a golf ball, I go, "Oh, is this yours?" And then you put it on nice fluff.
Yeah.
So you got to identify the ball at all times, and anything outside of a flag stick is good, and nothing past double bogey, and you're golden. You make those 3 rules, everybody in the world would play golf.
I would play more golf.
Yeah. We shoot a lot better scores.
12 holes. Identify your golf ball. Anything outside of flag stick is good, and no nothing past. Let's call it a triple. Well, let's go triple.
Yeah.
Nothing past triple.
So if it's inside the flag stick, you just pick it up.
Yeah. Well,
Or
yes.
do you let because if you
Well, there should be like a piece of tape or like a thing on the flag
so
stick.
when you lay it down,
You lay it down. If it's in there, it's good.
okay.
And the pace of play would be amazing. How many people would play golf if it was 3 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
Well,
would play.
Because what's the most boring thing about golf?
Oh, slow play.
Well, it's slow play, but putting.
Putty,
Like,
yeah.
who's like, oh,
Yeah.
I love to putt.
Well,
like,
Southern California, there's no public golf courses. They're like 6.5 hour rounds.
yeah, it's terrible.
You know what? If his rules were in effect, think how little of trouble I'd get in with my wife.
Exactly.
Because showing up late, because obviously once I finish a 5-hour round of golf, I
you
still
gotta
got to go to the bar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
And
got to
so,
pay your debts.
Next thing you know, she's like, well, why did it take you fucking 7 hours to fucking play golf
I
today?
tell you what, these guys I caddy for, like when they're done in 3 hours, they are so happy, and like, and the fact that they don't have to wait on each shot and like just keep on going,
Yeah.
and the fact that they're looking at the guy they have to wait on every shot, you're like, dude, you just took a 6th practice stroke again, and you're like, it happens again on the next hole. It happened again on the next hole. So this guy's continuously watching a player do the same exact thing, and then he's getting all frustrated. Some guys are pretty cool about it, but not a lot of guys.
I get pretty frustrated on the
I get
golf
pissed.
course with slow play, especially when they're terrible. If you're slow and you're fucking sticking it, okay, I can't really talk a lot of shit to you.
No,
But-
you're gonna get some shit. If you're that
but
good,
if you're slow and you're fucking
There's a couple
shanking
guys.
it,
Who are the 2 guys I read recently? They were all about like,
so Adam Scott
Yeah.
and Tiger Woods
yeah,
brought up the point of
the slow play, right?
no, they were bringing up the distance, the yardage.
no, slow play was Brooks and Rory.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Brought it up
Brooks and
about
Rory-
Brooks and Rory.
about DeChambeau.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you can't just put out one guy. It's
Sure.
a cumulative
It's-
of a lot of guys. Trust me, it's not just. Yeah, he might have been slow at
that one point
Well, who was
in time.
it? Rory Sabatini's
because you know what the funny thing is, they never
talk.
talked about him other than that. And the fact is, if you rewatch that guy who did the video on him, he remember he hit the shot, I don't know where it was, and he walked all the distance off the back because you don't have a gun, obviously.
Yeah.
If they had a gun, then it wouldn't even matter. I don't know why that's not even apparent yet. But he walked it all the way up, and he told the other guy to hit. He told the
Sure.
other guy to hit. And then there was a guy on the other tee hitting a shot.
Sure.
And he had to wait for him to hit a shot. So in all aspects, he wasn't slow at all. He was doing the natural thing that we should be doing.
Yeah, he.
Why
paced
don't
off,
they let him use the yardage guide?
the range
Yeah.
rangefinder? They tried it.
Well, that's the reason why. Because those type of situations where you're in a shot and you aren't straightforward in the fairway with an actual sprinkler with a yardage and a book and all that those are the difficulties in the game that you should have to deal with.
Okay.
well,
to make-
so to touch on that, what's up with these green reading books? Can we get rid of those things?
No, I think those are helping the guys because honestly, you're playing courses that you've never played, or if you do, it's very rare. It's once a year. Okay. You're not playing there every day. You're not remembering. Of course, if you're there 10 years in a row and you're playing 6 rounds there, 4. Well, let's call it 6. 4 tournament rounds if you're making the cut. 2 practice rounds, probably 18 and 9, possibly 36. You're starting to learn the greens, but you don't see it for a year later.
So, solve slow play. You cut golf to 12 holes. No triple. Triple, pick it up.
Triple, pick it up, 12 holes.
Lift, clean, place.
No,
Lift, clean,
identify
bump.
your ball.
Sorry.
Identify your ball. It's not lift, clean, in place. It's
Identify it.
Is this yours? Oh, that is yours, sir.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
foot wedges.
They've happened. the better they can't see, the better they play.
Oh, I'm sure.
They probably,
Where'd that go?
do they
It's perfect.
Do they figure it out? Kind of like, hey.
Sometimes, not always.
every time
some
he
guys
goes
love
over there,
the shit out of it. They
Yeah.
love it. They're like,
Right.
dude, they love it. Some guys are like, really, dude? How did that ball get there? Oh, dude, it hit a tree. Are you kidding me? Hit
these-
2 trees.
these Monterey Pines, freaking
Yeah.
Create some great lives.
come right out. Yeah,
They're firm.
fucking.
The cover on those Monterey Pines are firm, sir. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, the Undercover Caddy, really appreciate you joining us.
A.K.A. Richter.
Love it. You're going to have to wear your jersey next time.
Yes. The Richter jersey will come
Yeah,
out.
Richter. Well, it only comes out at what the
Oh, it's some concerts.
concerts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us on the podcast. I hope.
Right, baby, the Aloha Press.
Aloha! That should be put out on every podcast, like during things. Aloha!
Just that specific,
Yeah.
like, just scare the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, no, like,
yeah.
like 4.
Oh.
No, it should be like aloha.
I love
like
it.
some Hawaiian person saying aloha.
No, I think it's you now.
Hey,
No.
yeah, you're better.
No,
than-
you're it.
We only know one
Aloha!
Hawaiian. Well, we know 2 Hawaiian people.
Hey, record this. Aloha. Mahalo.
All right, guys. Really appreciate
All right.
All right, guys.
you jumping on.
Signing out. Love you guys.
Later.
Peace.
Aloha.
Cheers.
Mahalo.
Wearing all black, being aggressive, hitting bombs. Got to hit bombs off the tee to be able to get to those small sections. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hit bombs and attack the pin.